Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Mudcast Podcast, where today I am joined by the stuffed crust Huscaroni pepperoni pizza and myself, that mud guy. Uh, just before the podcast officially starts, I do want to kind of say for the channel updates, I'm officially on first shift now. Officially, I won't be bumped to another shift for the foreseeable future. Cross our fingers for that. So if you didn't watch the last episode, which also was the update. So streaming Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at approximately 4 to 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. ish Eastern Standard Time. And then, you can expect a video or two on the weekends. And that pretty much sums it up. That's going to be kind of the schedule for the next couple of months, maybe to a year. It depends what happens. You never know in my job field title thing, whatever. So, yeah. And it's just the two of us today, unless we get a person that randomly joins us. I hope not, because we kind of cut him off when he joined last time. Anyway, so what's today's topic? Huscaroni pepperoni pizza.
Well, I think today's topic is something we touched on last week, which is your favorite topic, the dead internet theory. Can
Yes.
you explain what you mean or what I mean by the dead internet theory?
So my definition of dead internet theory, it has changed over years. It has evolved, whatever. My current definition of dead internet theory is basically there are more bots than there are users at this point in time. The best way I can kind of describe it in my words is like, let's say you are in a Discord with like 30 people. Generally speaking, there's probably gonna be like 100 bots per person, you know. So if you're like in a Discord with hundreds of people, in reality, there's only like 30 to 40 tops. And especially if you get into those giant community ones. I know our Discord, which has about 30 people, I can say for certain about 10 of those are probably bots ish. Unless they get investigated further, usually I boot them out if they are, but just gut feelings they're bots, So,
The
uh,
way I always understood it was kind of like, you know, uh, when the internet, based on like when the internet started, back in the 1900s, which
God.
really wasn't that far long ago, but it was quite some time. There were a lot of accounts that people made. Um, Facebook, MySpace. If you know what MySpace is, it was the precursor to Facebook. But Twitter or X now. Um, I all those accounts. Imagine all the people that made accounts and they're no longer with us. So there's just all these dead accounts that still exist, but it's just nothing.
Yeah.
There's just nothing going on there. It's inactive, but it exists. So that's
Hmm.
kind of where my thought is but it still ties into um, and grows into bot
Right.
situation is not only is a, lo- uh, probably at this point a majority of the internet
Hmm.
dead or at least close to half,
Right.
but it's overwhelmingly becoming bots.
Yeah. I think the origins of Internet 3 was like what you said was just a bunch of dead accounts, or I think it was even like crazier. Like when it first came up, like it was just straight up like the internet wasn't real, which obviously it is.
Well, you're not real. Just kidding.
Yeah, right. You're a figment of my imagination, and then over the years it became, oh, it's just the dead sectors of the internet, and now it's more evolved into the the users versus the bots in terms of usage or traffic. So,
I
like
wonder if at any point we'll be so overwhelmed by bots. I mean, at some point, bots are just going to run the internet.
I mean, I,
You're
I
going to
think
be seeing like, you're going to be seeing like fake news stories and bots responding to those news stories and commenting on it, and just basically the world is existing in the internet.
I mean,
And
it's
no
kind of
one is
like that already.
participating. No actual human will be participating, but they can watch, and it's almost like we're creating like a mini universe. It's kind of weird.
You basically like that for Facebook at this point. But yeah, I would say it's almost really like that already. A bot account will make mm, like a clickbait title or thumbnail or whatever to try and do, and it'll get more bots to comment underneath it in hopes that it brings more people along, and it gets whatever uh it makes whatever want people feel. If it needs to make people angry, it'll do stuff like that. Like I've seen bots gaslight people, which is kind of amusing. And then when you look into the account, it's like, oh, obviously this was made with an agenda in mind, sadly. But um, like for Discord, it's starting to get kind of bad. Um, it's kind of to the point where now every time I get like a person that messages me, I now have to think of, hey, are they a real? Are they a scammer? Are they a person begging for commissions? Which most of the time those are still bots as well. It's
So I have a funny story about that actually. So I joined a paid Discord, really just for watching stocks, just guys who had plays for stocks and all that. Um, the guy who ran it, his name in the title had parentheses, I will never send you a friend request. And like I shit you not, just about every single day, a fake version of that account would send me a friend request. And there was always just like one character off or something. Uh,
hmm
so you could tell, but I just found that humorous that like even though it's literally in his name, I was still getting, friend requests. And obviously they were all scammers, but
yeah,
or bots that would lead you to a scammer. But yeah, it was I found it kind of annoying actually.
yeah. I know for our Discord especially, we've been getting bots that are claiming that they know me or they're friends with me to get the other community members to interact with them, get what they want. And most of the time the guys are pretty good. They'll let me know like, hey, this account is trying to scam us or whatever, and then I give them the good old ban hammer. But it's like it's kind of just dangerous, especially like it's funny because one of the bot accounts messaged me asking or basically trying to sell me something or whatever, trying to interact with me. They're like, I'm Mudfam's friend, I know him. I'm like, oh really? Because I know him and he's not a very social person, so I doubt he's talking to you. And then I banned him, but
And then you banned them.
I banned him, but then I blocked him and I reported him and all that. I mean, I don't think the reports really matter at this point. Most of the accounts that will message you on Discord are about a day or two old. So like that's, I think, kind of the first sign of if you're talking to a bot or a person, as you look how old the account is. Generally speaking, if it's a new account, okay, if a new person creates a new account, like you're just a brand new user, you're not gonna be messaging random people on the internet. To me, that's not a normal human function. Unless if you've been in like the Discord or in our chats and you've been talking and interacting with us for a while, it's not normal to just be like, I don't know who that person is, but I'm gonna private message them and send my friend request. That's not a normal human behavior. So generally speaking, if you see an account that's like days old that kind of sends you that, more than likely they are not real unless it this personal friend and you convince them to join a Discord or whatever have you. But that's kind of smaller circumstance, and that applies to everything. Applies to Twitter, X, Facebook, Twitch as well. Twitch is kind of a problem right now, especially with how their view bots are going in YouTube, of course. So just put that out there. I'm not a social person. I'm not going to send you random friend requests. I assure you, it will take me months to warm up to you. So if you see a random friend request from me, it's probably not from me. There's your community PSA for the day.
to know. Mudfam doesn't like you guys.
It's not that I'm just not very social.
Well, he
I'm
doesn't
not.
like you yet.
Right, yeah. Just interact, interact in the Discord or in the chats or in streams and videos and like, okay, let me get used to you. I'm scared. I'm more scared of you than you are of me, basically.
There you go.
um, but yeah, it's on anything. Like Twitch is, like I said, is kind of a big problem because people use view bots. And at least they're not as dangerous, but they use view bots to get fully monetized and get the ads and sponsorships and whatnot. And
Oh, that's a good segue. So why don't you use Viewbots?
because I have morals, believe it or not, and I
Why
mentioned
does
it
it make you morally on a high ground here?
because I consider that cheating. It's like I could go to the website or whatever and buy 80 viewers and be on top of most of the games that I stream. And like let's say we're playing Warhammer 3, generally speaking, there's like an average of let's say usually the top 3 people are averaging about 100 or odd viewers. Like if I were to do that, I will be the top streamer, even though my viewer base isn't real. But I'll be the first one to pop up on there, and people probably click on me more. Like I know why they do it. It's beneficial. It's just a cheaty way to do it. Because they claim, like on Twitch claims that you're not getting ad revenue from the view bots or anything like that, but you're still getting a stream of somewhat real people. And I don't know. I feel like it's a Twitch is a game of luck with skill, a
Is it?
little bit skill, more luck than skill. Even a lot of the bigger content creators on that platform will even say they got lucky, they got to, but you know, it's also I think against the Twitch's terms of service to view bot as well, but they're not. They like to pick and choose when they do these things, so
Uh,
uh, yeah, it's a problem. They're very wishy-washy on who they enforce the rules on, but they don't they kind of have a competitor. I mean, it's YouTube, but streaming on Twitch is much better, at least in my experience. It's just the view botting is kind of out of control right now. There's communities. There's a new thing where uh like if I were to view bot and you were to like it's like a stream share and you stream shared with me, you would get all my viewers as well, and then we would both be on the top of the charts, and then we just split it. It's basically like company stuff. And right now there's a thing in Dead by Daylight that's actually happening. Not gonna name any names because I'm a small fry, but that there's a thing right now going on with that. And uh, I sometimes will, click on these like top channels and I'll just watch them. I'll be like, there's no way this person pulls that many people. And then I don't know, maybe it's just me. I like to look into things, but when I click on a profile that's relatively new that has 140,000 followers but can only pull, less than like barely 200 viewers, I'm like, that's kind of a rough margin. I know my margins are really bad, but I'm like, that's like 100 times more than mine. like, like that's kind of fishy. You started streaming and you have like a massive following, but yet you don't have the viewers to justify that. It's kind of weird. It's almost like you boosted your viewers up so you get partnered really fast.
well, maybe that's the meta now. You know.
it's it's just cheating though. Like it's cheating that's not really being enforced. If Twitch were to enforce that properly, and they claim they have, we would probably maybe see a lot more natural growth with smaller channels because Twitch's system is a little bit more archaic. The way to grow on Twitch is just who has the most viewers, active viewers at that, or concurrent viewers at that point in time. So if you have 4 viewers, you're generally going to be above the people who have like 3 and below. Um, Now, Twitch does have a function where it will show you recommended, but even the recommended is kind of really wishy-washy. So the best way to grow on Twitch is, sadly, the view bot or, by luck. So it's morally, I don't do it because it doesn't feel right. If it wasn't against the rules, everybody would be doing it. But it is against the rules, and only certain people would actually get in trouble because, think there's actually websites that you can go on to actually like look when a streamer starts and when their viewer count actually increases, and that's kind of how some people actually get caught. But you know, like I said, nothing really happens. And then kind of the same problem with YouTube as well, especially the shorts feed. The even right now, I've been noticing the YouTube shorts feed has been getting more and more AI or bot slop as well. Just
Good old
like
bot slop.
bot slop, yeah, and they'll post like movie clips. We all been lured. We basically watch the entire movie in a shorts feed at that point in time, but it will be like really body comments. You go to your channel. Oh, their channel's been up for a month, but they have almost 1 million subscribers already for just posting shorts, and I'm like, kind of fishy. But like even I get the bot accounts, and I'm like, I don't know how to respond to that because no person would type that, or uh the comment would be like really broken English, and I'm like, there's no way, there's no way that'd be real. Uh, like I got one guy who's, uh, like I think it's a human, but I think everything he does is fake because like he uses AI generated thumbnails, and then I look at his comments, and his comments don't match what the gameplay is or what the game is, and the thumbnail doesn't match what the game is either. It's like, okay, but
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
yeah, I know it because the reason why I kind of identified that he was kind of a bot, or maybe he does a lot of body stuff, is because he comments the same 3 comments over and over and over again. And I eventually like noticed the pattern. I'm like, kind of weird, because I like to look at my metrics, and when he first started, he would comment on the video like, good video, I liked it. I'm like, oh cool, because I love it when people comment on my videos. And then I'll go look at the metrics, and the metric would say like 2 seconds. I'm like, oh, you didn't actually watch it though. You didn't even get out of the intro. I mean, YouTube metrics might be completely off as well, but I have nothing else to go off by for that, sadly.
So, but why do you think they did that? Because
I don't know. I
like
hope they
you
don't
didn't
think I'm a
pay
bot.
anybody, right?
No, I mean, we're on a budget of, uh we don't have a budget. Our budget's like pretty much net negative all the time. So,
What? Wait, you're not paying me to be on the show?
you're getting paid for the experience.
Oh,
You're,
okay.
I mean, you're getting paid experience. So when you start your own podcast, you'll know what not to do.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You're paid with the knowledge.
Knowledge.
Right? But even on Reddit, it becomes an echo chamber there, and I actually kind of stopped posting on Reddit kind of for that
Oh,
reason. I mean, I'm
how
not,
dare you?
and I do feel bad because there are a couple of forums, or there's like one forum on there that are like, can you keep posting like basically the tier list videos, because tier list videos do really good for some odd reason. And I kind of feel bad. I'm like, I don't really like posting on there because everybody that comes there or comes to the channel are really not friendly at all.
Sounds like some of them are friendly.
Some of them, and that's the
So
problem
you're
where
gonna let
where
some of
it's
them ruin, or some of them ruin it for the rest of everybody?
and see, that's my dilemma. Is like, okay, do I ruin it for the one person, or do I keep doing it and keep getting you know these not very nice people bothering me? Like, let's say 100 not nice people bother me, but there's like 2 people that are friendly towards me. I'm like, that's kind of the conundrum. I'm like, well, there I like that. That's just a tough call for me to make. Like, do I keep playing that game of just abusing myself to satisfy the 2 people, or do I stop posting there and disappoint those 2 people? But now I'm not dealing with the hundreds of people anymore. Like that.
Yeah, but what if those two people told their friends?
I mean, I would love to see that happen. It's just I don't know.
Can
Like
you're small still, but can you? Do you think you can afford to lose good, loyal viewers?
no. That's kind of my conundrum where it's like, okay, the it's just a conundrum with Reddit. I don't like Reddit. I generally speak negative of it, and that's just because of my personal interactions. You know, like I post I now my general rule of thumb is when I post a video on Reddit, I will generally post one video a month. So like I'm not spamming it, you know, I'm not like a commission artist that's spamming everybody that interacts with it. Like so on the Warhammer 3 Reddit, I post a video once a month. 99% of the time it's a tier list because, you know, the 1, 2 people like that tier list actually. And I kind of tried experimenting with other forums. I have noticed because, you know, Reddit mods are, you know, exciting, and I got busted at I think it was the Left 4 Dead Reddit where the rule states, you know, you don't spam your videos or whatever, you know, whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna throw one video out there to see if it works. And I think it was like a highlight of just one of the streams that the boys and I were playing, and got nuked immediately. I got banned from the Reddit, and I got banned from it. And then I went and looked at the users, the modders, and I found out the modders were also content creators posting their content on the Reddit. I'm like, oh, so it's okay for you guys to spam videos, but I can't post one. So
Yeah, that's kind of bad.
and then there was another Reddit I kind of interacted with, but I kind of forgot because I think it was the Monster Hunter, one of the Monster Hunter Reddits, and I was getting traction on that. So it's is what it is, sadly. Um, but you know, it's once again it's a conundrum. Where do I keep posting that stuff? I mean, a lot of my content is generated by how you guys interact with it. Like if the Monster Hunter videos don't do good, obviously I'm gonna stop posting, or you know, so on and so forth. Like it doesn't seem to be worth my effort. I don't think, anyways. You know, I've had people in the past ask me to make like certain quest battles in Warhammer 3, and I absolutely do because, you know, that's something somebody asked for. So, like, generally speaking, if you want me to make certain content, ask. I kind of view the content to be driven by you guys, you know, by viewers like you. Thank you. I know a lot of bigger channels are like, this is my channel. I do with what I want with it, but I kind of look at it as a whole. Well, you guys are also devoting your time, energy, and mental stability to watching my shenanigans, and you know, if there's a reason for me to not play it, I will generally state it. Like, let's say if like somebody asked me to go play the oh, what's that game called? Um
Like Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. I don't enjoy those games, and I'm bad at those games. And you know, we're gonna be stuck on the first boss for 10 years. You know, I don't think that's gonna be
Well,
fun.
it's multiplayer, so you won't be stuck on the first boss for 10
Well,
years.
well,
I
here's the
can
thing though. You
carry you.
guys carried me so hard in Dark Souls 3. Like, I enjoy playing it with you guys, but like, I still don't think it would make good content though, because it will just be me hiding in the corner while you two did all the work. Like,
No,
I,
no, you get better. That's a game you get better at as you play it, and if
mm,
you enjoyed it at all, then it's still worth giving it a shot, I think.
mm, no. But like, you know, generally speaking, like stuff like that, it's like okay, like within reason, of course. I mean, you know, if it's a genre, if it's a game like outside the stuff I usually play, I might give it a try. But if it's like something like I 100% know that I'm not good at, and I know it's not gonna be fun because I'm just gonna be cussing and bitching and moaning, kind of like Dead by Daylight. But at least we do okay in Dead by Daylight. Oh, sometimes, anyways. Um, but yeah, that's kind of generally how this channel works. Is that it's driven by the viewers, you know. Like we do fun stuff on this channel, like we did the gun video. I want to do more. You know, we're doing the podcast. I want to do more. But
Maybe we do another gun video sooner
I
than
want
later.
to. Geez, whew. I don't know. Maybe we'll do that this weekend. Maybe we'll do a little video. I don't know. That was actually fun. No, that I enjoyed making it. It was just a lot of effort because I was the cameraman, editor, presenter, uh, equipment manager, you know, everything. Though it took a really long time to make that 13 or 15-minute video. You know, way too long. But yeah. Um, uh, let's see here. I'm just trying to follow the script. But yeah.
Oh, you made a script?
Well, I'm using the ones you guys sent me to kind of like let's go from topic to topic to topic. So trying
And
to anyway.
I don't even remember what the next like full on topic we're gonna be talking about?
Well, so we touched on the AI and bot slop of YouTube. I kind of lost it after that point.
Okay.
Uh, let's see here. You have something labeled here called the blurring line between human content creators and automated avatars. What do you mean by that? Do you remember, or were you like drunk when you wrote that?
Can you say that again?
The blurring line between human content creators and automated avatars. Are you talking about
Yeah,
VTubers?
all content creators. So, like for example, if you go to YouTube and you just see the like For You page, and you just kind of scroll through, you're gonna see a shitload of just like um, I guess tier lists that have an automated voice.
Oh,
Basically,
oh,
just the
yeah.
videos are just like it's a bot. The whole thing's a bot. I mean, it's still interesting
Oh,
to watch because it's information you want to see, but like
it's
at the same
hard to
time, it's
watch.
because you get that. I know you know what I'm talking about, but the that AI voice
Oh, yeah, I don't
that's
like
in
it.
every other tier list video, and
Yeah,
not even
or
just
you're
a
looking
tier
up a
list
tutorial. Uh,
tutorial or just like some interesting factoid video, you know.
I like the old tutorial videos on like okay, like I don't have a mic, so I'm just gonna like type it on screen or get notepad, type it out. Like I prefer those than the AI voiceovers. I just hate those AI voiceovers. As soon as I hear that, I click off. That is a killer for me. Like right now, I'm trying to learn how to do Unreal Engine 5, and most of the videos I came across are those AI voiceovers. I'm like, even if they actually know what they're doing, I just can't stand it. It sounds too fake. I would rather them just show me step by step and not have that audio personally. I mean, it's I don't like it, especially when the AI voiceovers sound like broken English. Like that's even worse.
Ooh,
Like they're not even good AI voiceovers. They got the cheap AI bot from like Walmart. They got it on sale, and they thought with a straight face like, yeah, I'm gonna put this in my video. It's like, ugh. But no, I thought you were talking about VTubers, and the running joke with the community of I think for like 2 or 3 years ago was I was gonna make myself a VTuber because I thought that's where YouTube was going. Because I started seeing a massive growth in VTubing in the last couple of years. Like you have your like handful of really big VTubers, but then I started seeing like dozens and dozens of just these new VTubers popping out of nowhere. I'm like, I wonder if we're going towards that trend.
and what is a VTuber?
It's basically like it's a digital model. So most VTubers nowadays use like a VR kit or like a tracking suit. So they'll go and just basically talk and interact. It's basically a face cam. Like Discord has kind of where like I can kind of make a VTube model in Discord, and instead of showing my real body, it just shows like an animated version of me. Animated, or they do like characters from games, or they'll
Okay.
uh, mm, catfish you a little bit, like
So that's what you wanted to do. You wanted to be a
I wanted to
catfish.
catfish people, and I said it as a joke to one of my other friends. I'm like, it would be so funny if like we got like a full like YouTube model for like April 1st, and like had a voice changer and everything, and I could gaslight the internet for like a couple days. And then I told him, I'm like, it would backfire on me because then I would get popular, and then I would be stuck doing that. That's why I never did it, because I was worried that like that was gonna kick the channel off. I'm like, I don't want to do that because then I would be stuck doing it.
Interesting.
I want to do it as a joke. That was on my list of jokes I want to do for April 1st. Uh, let's make a V2 model. I think I actually have one, but it's a guy one. It's not a girl one. But it's because originally when we made it, because I was really nervous about doing a full face cam, and I still kind of am. Let's face it, I'm not particularly good looking, and I'm like, not that hard to make a V2
Yeah, I
model.
was actually really surprised when I first saw your.
Yeah, it threw a lot of people off. And it's I think it's mostly I think the negative comments really got to me. They're like, why the why the fuck are you making a tier list video with a face mask on? Nobody wants to see your face. I'm like, that's why I have the face mask on. I'm like I got snippy with one person, and they're like, nobody came to watch a video with your face mask. I'm like, yeah, you're absolutely right. You came to watch a Warhammer 3 video. If you're worried about the face, obviously you're not concerned with the video itself. And actually, a couple other commenters kind of jumped that guy's throat if that was even a real guy, because once again, don't know if it's a real guy or not. No idea. No, you won't know until it's too late, sadly. But my face mask actually acted as a natural pop filter as well. But the audio hasn't been too bad. I was actually kind of surprised. So the face mask was kind of dual purpose. It I don't know if I'll ever get back into it. The next idea was just use kind of like cool masks, like use like a Deadpool mask and stuff like that. But I don't know, maybe we'll do that for Halloween or something, Halloween special. But I just figured this was kind of better, and I was kind of looking at metrics of my Twitch because I want my Twitch to grow, and I'm like, okay, obviously face masks are popular, a lot of people don't like it. Maybe we'll just try, go without face mask for a while and just see how the retention grows, because I have issues of keeping retention, at least on Twitch, for obvious reasons. So we're kind of just experimenting how to keep people engaged. Because
Obvious reasons.
obvious reasons, right? Don't know why people don't know why we don't have high retention rates on the channel. No idea whatsoever. And it's just kind of me experimenting. I mean, that's one fun thing about the channels. It's just me experimenting, throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. And I figured let's just go without face masks, see what happens. Because the issue with small viewers or small streamers on Twitch anyways, or I guess streamers on YouTube as well, is that like we can sit here and ramble about certain things, but like the second we get an active chat, we do so much better. Because we get active chat and all the lurking viewers will start interacting with the chat, and now you're interacting with the chat, and now you got this synergy of like constantly going on. And generally speaking, I perform better when there's an active chat. I feel better when there's an active chat. I mean, I don't mind the lurkers at all, but if I get locked into something, I don't talk for a while. Like if I get locked into a battle of Warhammer 3, I don't talk because I want to win. Whereas like, other like chilling games, like we do like Satisfactory or Factorio, I can kind of sit there and interact with the chat some more and not really focus on what's going on. Unless I'm trying to do math, and then, we kind of get ourselves stumped a little bit.
You and your math.
Me and my math. Well, yeah, I gotta get a perfect 1-to-1 ratio for all my factories and manufacturers. I gotta keep the machines uptime running. So yeah, there's kind of that, and then the YouTuber space is also kind of violent as well, as I've noticed. Like me being an outsider, these VTubers like to backstab each other, and I don't know if it's to cause intentional drama to get more clicks, or if they're really not that pleasant people. I'm not saying all of them. I'm not even saying the popular ones. Popular ones generally know what to do. Just saying like it kind of in general, like the VTuber community kind of volatile. You can't really say too many negative things about them and walk away. It's like a Taylor Swift fan. You can't be negative about her and expect you
Oh,
to walk
be
away
careful
from it.
now.
I know.
Be careful.
Be careful, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You've seen those fans. They're like a pack of zombies. They'll
Oh
literally
boy.
eat you alive. Yeah. Hey, I dated a girl that was a One Direction fanatic. Okay, but I kind of experienced the craziness a little bit. So, let's see. Let's try to segue to the next. Oh wait, psychological troll. I don't know what that is. Like I said, we're trying to be more professional here. We already did why does it matter, right? Basically, we explained why view botting kind of matters and why it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
yeah. So
Like I said, we're trying to follow the script, but we're gonna probably skip around a lot because that's just how we do things around here. Monetization trap. Why are companies doing this? Oh, yeah, that's actually kind of a good segue. So actually, some companies will actually view bot you, or sponsorships will view bot you, and that's pretty much just to get more engagement. That makes them look better because higher numbers is good, right? Doesn't matter if those
Big
numbers are
numbers.
real. Yeah, big
Yep.
numbers are good. Yeah, we just sponsored this YouTuber or streamer. Their view count went up 1,000%, but it's a fake 1,000%. So it just makes them look better. Um, I the the weird thing is it's not the streamer doing it, so I don't necessarily think it's like an ad fraud because they don't really have control over it, but they could still get in trouble. Um, because Twitch claims it can differentiate between bots or view botters and real people, and it can't because I have noticed that, and a couple of my viewers have noticed that when they're lurking, they don't get counted as a viewer anymore because
Fine lurking.
you basically watch a streamer, YouTube or Twitch or Kick, and you don't comment at all. You just kind of watch in the background. You turn on the stream and you like play a game in the background. Because I do it all the time. So um, that's what you consider lurking. They're just there in the background. They're not really engaging, which I have nothing against them because, like I said, I do it too. To some people, I've known to derail chat several times. I'm sorry, Epidemic, but the shits gets funny when I derail your chat like multiple times when we talk about which bear is best bear. So it seems to be a popular topic. I've done it 4 times now, and I don't think he realizes that it's been me.
Do you know where that stems from?
The which bear is best bear?
Yes.
The Office.
Okay.
And
I
he
didn't
caught
take
he
you
calls
for
that
an
reference.
office.
Everything I do is a reference to something. Sometimes it's an
Well, I
outdated
just didn't
reference.
think you were an office guy though.
I liked watching The Office. The Office and Parks of Recreation was one of my favorite shows when I was just younger to watch. I could probably still rewatch it. Hopefully, they don't ever decide to do a remake, because they did a Malcolm in the Middle remake, and I don't like that remotely at all. I think it's kind of a bastardization of what it was before, but whatever.
Yeah, I never even gave
I,
it a
I, I got
chance.
through half of the first episode and I skipped to episode 2, and I'm like, this is like the writing is not good at all. Like I like they pulled the old actors back, but like the writing wasn't good, and I like I don't like watching characters that are intentionally written to be like the villains or just bad people. Like I can't watch Shameless. I don't know if you ever seen that show.
Oh yeah, I've seen that show a few
I
times.
can't watch it because because every character in that show, like, yes, they have their problems, they're people, right? But they're almost written in a way where their problems define their personality. And it's like, oh, they're just bad people, and like I can't really watch that. I don't like watching it.
They're not bad
Like I
people. They're
understand
just
villains, I understand written villains are just bad because they're evil, but like when it's looking at like the common person and they're just bad to be bad, I'm like that's I mean, maybe that's the real world and maybe I'm not just being a realist, but I don't personally like watching that stuff. Like watching Malcolm in the Middle, I forgot her name. I hated fucking Lois. I thought Lois was a terrible person. And and like I felt bad for the kids. I felt bad for I forgot the husband's name, but it's like I hated it. Every time she
Al.
was on screen, I fucking hated it. And like
Did you ever watch Breaking Bad?
yes, I watched Breaking Bad. I did like watching Walt's arc. I kind of hated his wife. I didn't really like his kid, and I didn't like I forgot the uh the DEA's wife either. I felt like they just were written to be just bad people to be bad. Walt always wanted to be in control, but like that never really like fully defined him until like the later seasons. He just was kind of passive. Like after watching Breaking Bad and you go to rewatch like the earlier seasons, you can kind of see that he just always wanted to be in charge. And his reasoning was he got burned out, I think his company or something, because he uh,
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think it's something like I think he had like the kid or whatever, and like he had to basically like go find a real job or something. And you could say that like maybe that was his reasoning that he just always wanted to be in charge because the last time he wasn't, it went sideways, and then it got to his head, and then things happened. I mean, like I liked Gus. There was a reason why Gus was kind of bad, but I wouldn't say Gus was a bad guy. Actually, I mean, yes, he's a drug dealer. He was a bad guy, obviously, but like, wasn't he might have been the bad guy, but he wasn't a bad guy, you know. Um, like I did like watching that show though, and I did like
You
watching.
sympathized with Gus. I can't believe you.
Well, they killed his brother from another mother, and he went on like a whole basically revenge arc and just killing the cartels or something. I think I'm like, you know, they, I don't know. And he also treated his fast food workers really, really well. You know, he treated them like human beings. That's like, come on now. Having a boss that treats your workers like normal human beings, you know, it's a lot to ask for not nowadays, isn't it? Trying to think if there's like any other good shows that I've like watched, but I probably would have forgotten. Like Person of Interest, I liked a lot. I rewatched that actually quite a bit, but uh, outside of that, there's not really a whole lot of shows that I can like go back to, or that I can say like, yeah, it was a good show. You know, I had to force my mom to stop watching Rings of Power.
Why?
Well, she had a lot of questions, and you know, I'm the lore nerd of the family. I know a lot of Star Wars, a lot of Lord of the Rings, a lot of just useless game knowledge, and actually, I can't really say it because it just came out like really, really racist. But it's basically how how they chose some of their characters. Like she like one of her questions, well, actually, it was a less racist one, but she was basically like, "Why do like the orcs have like families or you know whatnot? Why are you trying to like perceive them to be good people?" I'm like, that's not normal. They are they were corrupted and basically were always evil kind of thing.
Did you ever read the Silmarillion?
I read bits and pieces of it. The funny thing is, it's I read Tolkien's books. They're kind of hard reads though.
Silmarillion. That's
Similarly,
what
I
I've never read it, but I mean, yeah,
I
my
read bits and
understanding is
pieces of it. So like I'll watch like lore videos, or if I want to know a certain topic, I will look into it. But like I said, reading Tolkien's books really good, except really really hard reads. Like it'll take you like you can't just sit there and read the entire book front to cover. Like it will take you some time. Um, I think there are books out there that kind of like dumb it down, but generally speaking, you know, I have the harder to read ones. I um, but yeah, like just stuff like that, and like a couple of casting issues, and just how things were portrayed. It's funny. She guessed who Sauron was without me having to explain who it was, and she's like, "That person seems weird. Is that like Sauron?" I'm like, "Yes." She's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Guess what? That's the wrong named character. That character never exists. Sauron was a different character in Silmarillion." Basically same in general. I don't remember if he was an elf in the Rings of Power. I don't remember that, but in the books, he was described to be a beautiful elf that basically catfished a lot of people, did a lot of shenanigans, and you know basically sunk an entire island nation into the sea. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's about right, right?
basically the
That's how they.
justifications. I don't remember how he did it or what happened, but he basically corrupted Numenor, and for some odd reason, it like basically sunk into the ocean. I think it was
What
like a punishment from the gods or something. I can't quite remember. That detail's kind of funny, but it was basically an effort to kill him. I think. I believe because he corrupted the Numenorians, which uh, the corrupted one became the Black Numenorians, which you kind of see in the extended edition of the Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. They cut that cutscene out in base for you know whatever reason. It wasn't a big deal. Like you won't really see that, but they did cut that out, and uh, yeah, basically he just pretty much got wiped off, and then he came back later because you know he's basically a god in itself, and you know there's really no good way to kill him. Like even I think in even like Lord of the Rings when they did all their questing, I don't think he's technically dead. It's just he basically can't reform a physical body again. I think is basically what it implies. So like he's useless in the physical realm, but he's still there and around basically like the Force. He's basically a Force ghost now. I think. I could be wrong, but I think that's how he is now. So, um, but yeah, like she was asking a bunch of questions, I would answer, and then she didn't get past. I think it was like episode 5 or something, because she got to the doors and then she started asking questions, and I'm like, it doesn't make sense because they live in a fucking mountain. They don't see the sunlight, so I don't know why they are the way they are. I'm not gonna really say it because it could come off really, really fucking racist, but it's kind of right. And the thing about Tolkien is he describes everything in such detail that you really can't, let's say, miscast. that's the way to put it. You can't miscast. Like Star Wars, you could. I don't think Star Wars really describes its characters in that much detail, but you could miscast in that.
Even Harry Potter, I think you can.
Harry Potter. I've just forgotten her name. She does describe hers pretty well, though. Let's just say Black Snape, for instance. I'm gonna say it because it's kind of a meme. Was a miscast because in the books it's described that he's a pasty white guy, and then if you read the
I
Half
don't think
Blood,
so.
yes, he is, because he was described as being a very pasty, white guy. Basically, I don't know how she described him exactly, but that's basically what he is. He's the Half
I'm
Blood
gonna look
Prince,
this one up.
and you might. That's what I've heard, and I read the Harry Potter books, but it's been a little too long, and uh when you get to the Half Blood Prince, when James and his friends start bullying Snape, it now looks very bad because I believe there was either a scene in the movie or was written in the book where they hang Snape from a tree with from his legs, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that with the recast, like, because now it makes James look like a really big racist. like, I think there were a couple of changes. I think even the original like Harry Potter movies, like I think some characters were not casted right. I think if you look at from the book, but that was just the big one because that one described his character. Whereas like I don't think they described like Neville. They describe the Weasleys as being gingers, and obviously they're not gingers. It's kind of weird. Um,
Okay, so there are some parts of the books that describe him as having a pale or sallow face
right,
that can look drained of blood or marble white.
right, and that's where
Um,
people are pulling from.
However, I don't think it specifically says that he is white, but
I
that's
mean,
a
that's
hard one.
basically you're describing it. I mean, that's
Yeah.
but she doesn't do it for all her characters. So like, I don't think Hagrid is really described besides his stature. I don't think Dumbledore might have been described, but it's just like the main characters like were kind of not as well as Tolkien. Like Tolkien did like the detail down to like I think the eye color kind of thing. So um, where Star Wars, I don't think it really described Star Wars at all. I don't know. The problem is there's so much content in that, there's so much um there's the canon, there's Disney canon, there's non-canon, there's legends, there's fan theories, and fan films are, I would say, better than the last 3 movies, So just like there's some things you can't get away with, but like generally fucking with Tolkien's work and Harry Potter, I don't think you really can.
Sure.
There's a reason why the Tolkien family doesn't let most people do anything with their content, because look what Amazon did. To be fair, Amazon did get the shade end of the stick where they weren't allowed to. They were only given the appendix, I guess, of the Silmarillion. So like they couldn't call Gandalf Gandalf. He was always the Wandering Stranger or the Gray Stranger or something. He was
Oh
in the
no, I thought
show.
at some point they called him Gandalf.
No,
I'm
they basically implied he was, but they couldn't. They didn't have the thing to his name. I think.
I
I
love
like I
his
said,
name
I
up
didn't
too.
watch it. That's just what I heard from another couple YouTubers that like they didn't have a lot to go off of, and that's why it's like also a partially mess. But they also had bad writing and whatever.
Yes, in season 2, uh, the show
Oh, I
officially
never seen.
confirms the stranger is in fact
Yeah,
Gandalf.
they confirm it's Gandalf, but they don't call him Gandalf in the show though.
Yes, I do. His name is revealed when members of the store community refer to him as Grand Elf. Hearing that phrase unlocks his realization, leading him to state that Gandalf is what he will be called.
Oh, I don't know. I
So
like I said, okay, so maybe they got the rights to Gandalf at season 2, but they um but yeah, like I said, there's like a lot of media that I don't really watch anymore. It's kind of just because like the modern stuff just isn't good.
I struggle with a lot of the newer stuff. I maybe it's just because I find as I grow older and I obtain new responsibilities and new work and
Right.
things of all that nature, I just don't have the patience to watch anything anymore.
Right. It might just be like, we're becoming old men and we don't have the time for it, but like I don't really get excited for a movie. Really the only new stuff I get excited for is the Spider-Man stuff. I mean, but I love Spider-Man as a hero, but like I mean, outside of that, there's like really no movies that I see that I'm like, oh my god, that would be kind of fun to watch either. Same with like a lot of the
Oh,
shows. So,
yeah.
like the new Men in Black or the newer Men in Black. I didn't really want to watch it. I liked that the franchise series of movies. I liked that, but it's just like the new ones I just didn't want to watch. I think they had bad trailers, anyways. Maybe blame it on the trailers.
Yeah, it's always the trailer's fault.
And it kind of like goes back to YouTube too. It's like ever since I started YouTube gaming, I can't watch like YouTube gamers anymore. Like there's like three that I will watch, and one of them is retired. I mean, I will watch a snippet of one or the other, and that's probably why I struggle making gaming content because I don't know what everybody wants to watch. But it's like I don't really have the time for it, and I guess maybe I know the partial effort behind it, and it's just not as fun anymore. If I watch like a gaming video, I don't know, because now I'm like watching just like building stuff, which is really weird. The really
Building
weird
stuff
art.
like what?
Cars, cabins.
So do you want to build a supercar,
Uh, or
or do
restoring cars, but no.
you want to
Like
restore cars, or do you want to turn your current car into a sleeper?
hell yeah, we should do it. No, and then like I will say one show I am watching is Clarkston's Farm. That is the one thing I see a new
You
season I get like excited for.
you do talk about that quite a bit.
I love Clarkson. It's basically about a bumbling old man who gets into farming for like the first time, and he's like learning all the aspects, and he's showing off like him trying to like make money and make a living, and getting roadblocked by his local council because he's English, and or his local government. And it's an exciting watch because it's both entertaining as well as like partially informative. He does show everything. Like he does show like the birth of animals, the death of animals, and so on and so forth. So it's by no means like a kid oh he's on a farm and it's a kids show. It's more of a realistic. Hey, this is what we gotta do. Like if it rains or if it rains too much, if it rains too little, half its crops are dead, and now he has to figure out what to do. But I think he made a pub. He made a farmer shop. He runs the farm. Uh, he has a bunch of different animals now. It's just because he does such a good job. Like he could probably do a different show, and just the way he handles himself is just so good. Because the family used to be really really big to Top Gear. Obviously not anymore. Because
Not anymore.
well, once the three hosts are gone, the Top Gear is
Oh,
just a form. It's just a shell of itself. But they've been trying to get rid of Clarkson forever though, because he says things unfiltered. That's another thing why I really like him. He's no, yeah, like I love Clarkston's farm though. It's kind of the whole if he can do it, anybody can do it. I think, but and like it is scripted. There is scripted stuff, but like I say, just the way he handles himself. Like I just love the show. I think the next season will be coming out in the spring. I can't wait. I followed
You
the
are
Twitter as soon as they started posting stuff. Like the man was in the hospital at the end of the not this season, but the season before. I was like so heartbroken. I was watching updates so he would get better, and then he made
really
they made a trailer, and he basically said, "I'm still here." uh, 'cause basically, he had like a heart problems going on because of all the stress, I think, or something like that. So, uh,
stress
yeah,
running
yeah.
a farm.
Well, yeah, and having to deal with all the government bullshit, get my tinfoil hat on, but yeah, it's pretty much that. Uh, stuff going wrong, and I mean, he has enough money saved up from his past careers. Obviously, he doesn't need to struggle with money, but when he's like, I think season 2 or season 3, he made like 14 pounds profit, or 14 whatever that is in American dollars. So like after all the costs and the expenses, he made $14 profit, or 14 pounds.
That's not bad.
It's not great either, especially when you got loans.
Well,
Because
no, profit is, or if he's saying net, then that's after
no, because so
paying off your
basically he
loans.
doesn't have to pay back the loans. I think he said until like 5 to 10 years or something. And so they were kind of taking that, like he made he made that profit that year, but that's nothing though, because he still has to feed himself, pay, whatnot. So I think they were looking at that as like the farm itself made that as a profit, but now the take home is probably like nothing. I think I don't know how they really broke it down. I don't remember, but it's like I said, it's just fun show to watch. I recommend it. Trying to think if there was anything else modern. I think that's really it. All like any modern media. Like I said, I don't like gaming YouTube. I don't like watching most streamers except for a handful because they just feel fake to me. I don't know. Maybe I feel really fake too. I don't know. Um. mm, I mean, I would say maybe I'm excited for that Doctor Doom movie coming out, but Marvel writing hasn't been particularly great lately. Besides
I didn't even know
Spider-Man.
there was another one coming out. Shows
Uh,
how updated I've been.
I stay updated on Marvel Universe because it's superheroes and stuff, and I like that. I don't know when it's supposed to come out though, but they announced it. I think it was at Comic-Con last year. I think maybe a year and a half ago. So, I don't know what the schedule releases were looking like. I don't know if that was a like after the Spider-Man he's next kind of thing. I'm not really sure. So, but we'll have to see on that one. Um, I haven't watched the Odyssey yet. It,
Me either.
Everything I've seen of the trailer looks cheap to me, and that's maybe it's because I like Troy, and to me the costumes and Troy felt kind of authentic, and this movie doesn't. So I heard it did really good though,
Yeah, I heard
surprisingly
it
enough.
did really well too, despite some of the negatives I heard from it.
Yeah, I heard a lot of negatives, and a lot of the like I watch like the medieval YouTubers who like showcase medieval armor and weapons and whatnot, and even they were like watching it. They did their impressions. They're like, the writing could have been better, but like the all the other like aspects weren't particularly good, except how he could string his bow. I heard that was like the only positive. Um, And the issue is from like a historian standpoint, they were saying that basically they made it as real as possible when the whole Odyssey was more mythical as well. Um, basically the Homer's Odyssey, they basically sail into the Bermuda Triangle. Is the best way I can describe it, where they like run to monsters and mythical beasts and whatnot, and are trying to find their way home, and it takes
Mhm.
forever. He comes home, you know, He has lots of squatters, and he basically takes care of the squatters.
Yeah,
That's me.
pretty much kills them all.
Yes, he does. Because they're trying to basically take over his throne and his wife, and they insulted his son, I think, or something like that. I can't quite remember. Like I said, I haven't read Homer's Odyssey since middle school, so
It was probably one of my favorite.
that was one of my favorite subjects too, because like I like Greek stuff, that's one of my kind of favorite topics. Like even if it's like not real like Greek stuff, I like the mythological stuff that comes with it. So, uh, like I forgot what movie it was, but there was an old Odyssey that like really old, like everything
Hmm.
looked like rubber and stuff. And I remember that movie actually being halfway decent. I don't really
Yeah,
remember much, but
I
I
think I
don't.
watched that in high school too. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Right. Yeah, that might have been a middle school or high school thing for me. Yeah, because I could have sworn we did that like right afterwards because we were comparing the writing versus at that time the modern media of it. Obviously, even that was outdated, but I don't think they're gonna do that this time around. I don't think I don't think the kids are gonna read the Homer's Odyssey and then watch Christopher Nolan's Odyssey.
Well, so actually, funny thing is, when I was a senior in high school, we read what's that book called? The Great Gatsby, and
Yep.
that was the same year that the Leonardo DiCaprio version came out.
Yep.
We actually went to the theaters to watch it.
Oh, we watched it in class. Um, I would say I enjoyed the movie a lot more than the book.
I hated both, to be completely honest. I
Eh,
did not enjoy either one.
I mean, like comparing the book to the movie, I liked the movie more. I don't remember what happened in the movie. I just remembered some person got ran over and he drowned in a pool, I think, or something like that. Somebody drowned in the pool, and like that's
I
all I
don't.
remember. Like,
Yeah.
and Leonardo DiCaprio was in it. That was literally it. Um, I didn't know any other details at all. Or he was like a World War I vet or something, wasn't he? Like something like that. But I, I don't quite remember. Like I said, that was a I don't not purged from my memory, but must not have been good enough to retain it either. Sadly, I'm trying to think. I don't even think my brother even like watched any movie or stuff because he took the same class I did, and I don't think they did anything like that because usually when I for my writing class, we would read the story or whatever, break it down, and then we'll like watch snippets of the movie or show or whatever it was from. Sadly, we never did Lord of the Rings. I mean, I wish we would have, but we never did.
But it's very sad.
Very sad, dude. I watched the Lord of the Rings like I binge watch it at least once a year.
Funny thing is, I just bought um, the 4K extended versions
Nice. I,
of the
I I
full
have that on the
trilogy.
Apple Store.
So I the other part of that is I bought it on Amazon Prime, and so I have the
Oh,
4K extended
yep.
version on that, but I actually have the physical discs now too. So I bought it twice.
I have the
Um,
physical discs, not the collector's edition or whatever. So it came in like a big like box. Then I also bought it
mine's not
on
special.
Apple.
It's just got the
Yeah.
digital and or the extended and the regular
And then I only
editions in there.
have I think the Hobbit. I don't think I have. No, I had the extent. I have the extended of the Hobbit uh movies as well. I
I have those as well for Amazon Prime, but I
oh,
don't have the physical versions.
yeah. Like I said, oh man, I wish they would make more games and more media with that. I absolutely love that lore and world because they could do so much with it. Just I mean, I know why they keep it close fisted. I mean, but it bums me out because they can't really do anything forward because Tolkien basically like ended his story after Aragorn's son. Basically, he basically describes as like history moves on as we know it. So kind of interesting. Um, but then like Harry Potter's another one where I generally binge watch Harry Potter like in like winters, Christmas time. Not
I
I haven't
have
done it in the
the
last
Harry
couple years.
Potter stuff too, and yeah, that's just our time, you know.
Right, yeah, and
Those
then
are
like
the
Star
years that
Wars is
we.
like I might watch like the first six and maybe like one of the newer shows, but like that's kind of it.
Yeah, I don't like the newer movies.
No, I like The Force Awakens. If I had to choose out of the last three, which one were best, I would say Force Awakens because at the time it was a good idea. Second movie was forgettable. I watched the second movie several times and I still can't tell you what the hell was going on. And then the third one was cool, giant battle, I guess. I don't know. I didn't really like the third one that much either, to be fair. I the show, like Kenobi show, I kind of liked. It was really slow. The Boba Fett show, I didn't really like as much because the writing or the storyboard was really fucking bad. Like every episode did like a like 10 to 20-minute flashback of like what was happening prior. And I really wish they would have just done like the first three or two or three episodes of just the flashback. Because to me that really hurt the pace. Because basically he was in the back of the tank dream or remembering what was happening in the past, and that was basically the jump of the next scene. And I don't know, I think they just did a really bad job of handling it. I pretty positive season two got canceled kind of for that reason. I like Boba
Of
Fett the
what?
character of Boba Fett or
Oh,
Book
Boba
of
Fett.
Boba Fett.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I didn't.
Towards the
I
end, it
wasn't.
was better, but it was just the pacing was really bad.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna do a Darth Maul show.
They did. It's an animated one. They call it the
Oh
Shadow
well.
Warlord, and
Oh,
I'm not gonna spoil it for you. It's actually pretty good. I
I
do like it.
I
I
know what
wish there was more
happens
episodes.
because I watched the Clone Wars, like all those. Like
Okay,
I watched through all of it, so I know what happens to Darth Maul.
yeah.
But
So this is after. The problem is they do a huge gap because I thought they were gonna do it on like how he got in control of the syndicate, but this is more of a just him like kind of adjusting like after some time with Order 66 basically. Like they kind of skipped a portion I was actually interested in. Uh, if you watch Rebels, he would kind of say things about him having like control of the syndicate, and this one didn't pick up on that, so it's kind of meh. It was a good story though. Um, I know I'm kind of curious to see if I'm going to see a second season of that, and then Mandalorian I liked in general
yeah,
until Pedro Pascal started just taking his fucking helmet off every chance he got and kind of killed the magic because he claimed he couldn't act with the helmet on when okay whatever. I feel
I don't
like
know why he didn't just provide the voice. I mean,
he did. He provided the voice. However, he claimed, or they claimed, I don't know who claimed that because he was wearing a mask, we couldn't tell what he was thinking or what he wanted to do. And I'm like, okay, when he glares at Grogu for doing something shitty, you absolutely know what's going through his mind. Or when he glares at a robot that gets in his way, you know he just wants to shoot it, wants to shoot that clanker, you know? Like you could kind of tell with his body language. Like it's not just the helmet. You could tell with his body language that obviously he doesn't like droids. He's a parental figure of little baby Yoda. Like I don't
mhm.
know. Like I understood why he had to take the helmet off initially, but like he kept on kind of taking it off, and like I didn't like that. I like the whole who was he behind the helmet kind of thing. Um,
Right.
so I think they got a movie. I haven't seen the movie, but I heard the writing was really bad. So I don't know. And they broke the fucking dark saber, which I can't forgive. I can't forgive that one. Um, what other one? There was Kenobi. I haven't seen the Acolyte yet. I heard that was
I
kind of
have.
bad.
I think I started watching it, but yeah, just
It
it
was
kind of started feeling samey.
yeah. And then I'm trying to think of any other like modern app. There was I haven't seen the Ahsoka one yet. I heard that one was actually pretty good.
Yeah, that one's fine.
And I watch all the animated stuff generally speaking. Except for the Tales, the Star Wars Tales, because I didn't feel like it was really worth my time to watch. I think there's like only like two episodes I wanted to watch out of it, and that was it. So, um, and I don't know what else they have planned for Star Wars. they're kind of secretive of what their projects are going to be. I'm trying to think because I feel like they killed the animated shows too fast. Like they could have done more Bad Batch. They could have done more Shadow Lord. Um, I don't really know unless they're doing another full animated movie. I don't know what they're gonna do from here because they basically killed off the trilogies from Force Awakens.
No, I thought they were actually gonna make more.
I don't know. I think I've heard rumors like years back that they were gonna do a soft reboot after the fall of the Empire and just make those movies non-canon because how badly negative they've been received. But I've yet to see them take actions for it. So, and especially since they came out with a New Republic era movie, I don't know. So I just heard rumors that they were gonna supposedly decanonize it. Um, I don't know. I would like to see an Old Republic trilogy personally, but they're probably too scared to touch that because that's stuff that they have to get fucking right because there's been information for that for years. Because I liked how I remember watching an interview with Kathleen Kennedy where she's like, Star Wars is kind of hard to do because there's no information on anything. I'm like, oh, you mean Legends that Disney fucking decanonized that you have all this information from that actually properly explains how Palpatine's alive? Like instead they kind of still took it from Legends, but they didn't do a very good job with it. But yeah, like no, like there's entire information for generations of like the Skywalker line. Like there's stuff that goes down to his kids kind of thing. Like fun fact, I can't remember if this is true or not, but the kid that they named Anakin Skywalker turns fucking bad as well. It kills people.
Jeez.
I think there's a canon or there's a Legends Luke. Luke had like multiple kids in one of the Legends, and he named one of them Anakin Skywalker, and he started fucking murking people. Or that might have been his kid thing. I don't remember, but like that was like I read that story like oh shit, because that was like when I was like in middle school. I started reading those books because there's a bunch of those. It's like a Warhammer 40k books. There's a bunch of books. You'll be reading that stuff for a while.
You read it a lot?
Yes, I do read it a lot. I haven't read actually a book in a long time, but I kind of want to get some 40k books, like physical books. I don't want digital media that could get deleted off one day because they forgot to renew the license. So yeah, I'm getting to that age where like I just want physical stuff again.
Well, yeah. So the same with me. I mean,
Well, yeah, we
that's kind of
discussed in
what
the
I've been
last
doing.
episode of what you do to keep your movies, but like, yeah, because when the license expires, you don't own the right to it, and then they could just
Nope.
remove it, or so.
Yep. Yep. You could pay for it on whatever platform you want, and you think you're gonna have it forever, but one day they're just like, yep, I don't. We
Even
don't.
even though you've been paying for the service or you paid for the book, depending on how you do it, yeah. Like
Yep.
yeah, like I think when I start getting to 40k, I'm probably gonna start reading Horse Heresy. Although I pretty much know a lot of the base information already. It's just more the memey stuff I know, but I would think I would actually enjoy reading it. Because they're not really hard reads. I would like to read Fantasy Warhammer as well, but they're kind of doing a soft reboot of that, so I'm kind of or they've been doing a soft reboot of it, so I'm kind of gonna hold off and probably wait for them to flesh it out because they, I think they add more lore to the Cathayans and the Lizardmen, I believe. So I don't want to get like an older book and them kind of right call friends to be something else like they did twice. So and the Horus Heresy books are actually a little bit older, but they're so good to read. So oh man, ooh. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about that next episode. Maybe we'll talk about like more nerdy topics.
Yeah, like
I mean, this episode,
40,000 Warhammer.
yeah.
Maybe you can talk about some D&D. I don't know.
I don't. All I know is a D&D movie. I never got invited to any D&D session though.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, well, I no, I played Defend the Original Sin 2. Does that count?
Sort of. I mean,
Hell yeah.
it would count more if you would have played Baldur's Gate, but
Yeah. Um, yeah, I know this episode is supposed to be about Dead Internet Theory, and then we just trailed off to movies. We're still good. We're still gonna label this as Dead Internet Theory because I have a funny thumbnail I'm gonna make. So, uh, um, but anyways, I think we are gonna call that a podcast. Unless you got any other ending words, questions, concerns.
not on my end. I mean, I guess what are what's the next one gonna be about? You said it was gonna
I
be
think we probably could talk like more nerdy stuff. Maybe we'll talk
like
about
just
I don't know, maybe Warhammer Fantasy, maybe why you hate the dwarves so much.
oh yeah, we can
Well,
go we
why is
can
Husky so racist towards people of small statures? You know,
I cannot stand the
um,
dwarfs.
I don't know because we have several hundreds or I have thousands of hours in Warhammer now, so I don't know. Maybe we could talk about like actual like focus on game. I don't know, or or maybe I could explain some Warhammer stuff, 40k stuff to you. Maybe we'll do like what all the other 40k podcasts do, and I just talk about chapter of Space Marines. I don't know. Like I said, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that next week. Well, actually, we're going to the we're doing the gun range this weekend. Maybe that'll
Oh
be a
yeah,
topic.
you're right.
So who knows? We might talk about gun stuff. It might evolve into 40k stuff. Who knows? You never know. Like this, like this one that was supposed to be about Dead Internet Theory, and I think we stopped talking about that for like 30 minutes into the podcast.
I mean, we tried,
We
but
tried
maybe
to
we
stay on
need to
topic,
have a little bit more of a
a little bit more control.
ever-changing agenda that doesn't necessarily revolve around
I think
one
what we need to do
topic.
is just do a general topic of just Dead Internet Theory. I tried to follow the scripting, so to say, but it's like the problem is we were talking like out of order a little bit, just naturally as we were going. So it's like, oh, like we already discussed uh like AI generated influencers. We already talked about parasocial relationships because you can't trust anything. We didn't really talk about the loss of digital history, but I guess we kind of were. We were talking about like stuff just gets fucking deleted when it doesn't get renewed. So, um,
Right.
but I mean, yeah, it's just I think it'll be. I don't know. It might be just we just talk about multiple topics. So, I mean, I'm not even sure how the fuck did we even segue to movies. Like I started talking about like just me not watching certain kinds of content, and then just defaulted into, hey, what movies do you like? You know,
Well,
that was
no, I mean, you started talking about the
derailing
Rings of
somebody's
Power,
chat, right? And then, or sorry,
about
well,
how you got your mom to stop watching the Rings of Power, and
yes, it was which bear was best bear. That was it because I was going on somebody's Twitch stream and just trolling them, and I remember because he would like because he do multi streams, so he streams on YouTube and Twitch, and it's just fine because he'll look at like Twitch because like he would do like a poll on like which killer to play for DBD, and then he'll look at YouTube and he'd be like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Why are you describing which bear is best bear? Or I forgot what was the other thing I derailed them with, but it's always that. Or it's the always the if he has to disappear for any period of time, I just go in the chat and I go, okay, who wants to learn new slurs? Thankfully, he has
wow.
mods that like joke, and I haven't been banned for that one. I'm too scared to go into the Twitch one because the Twitch one is generally bigger than the YouTube one. Just naturally, there's more people watching streams with Twitch than YouTube. It's built for it better, but yeah, like I'll just be watching it, or I'll watch it at work. Like one time we were dead at work, so I was watching it, and I'm just just basically derailing his chat into describing what or like what truck is best or whatever. I don't remember what that conversation was. That was a dumb conversation, but or it was similar to best bear, which bear was best bear, but it was like I think it was like what's your favorite color of cat, basically, something like that. Like I said, I love going in there and just derailing the chat because his YouTube chat is active, but it's not like super active or like the chat window moves a million miles an hour. It's you could there's still like 20 people chatting. There's just not rapid chatting. I really wish he would give me the ability to make fucking polls. Because one time he made he made a poll, yeah, what killer to play, and then I managed to get the entire chat on YouTube to each pick their own fucking killer. And he like said like basically I can't trust the YouTube chat because when I asked what killer to play, they somehow picked one of every killer. He's like, okay, I guess I'm not doing a poll for you guys anymore. Whoopsies, I kind of ruined that for everybody else, but hey, it was all fun and
Good
games.
job.
Hey. Anyways, I think that's enough of that. I'm starting to lose my voice now. If you couldn't tell, I have an empty water bottle. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video podcast thing. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for notification when I go live, upload a video, or do any other shenanigans on YouTube. And of course, I was joined by the double stuffed crust Huscaroni pepperoni pizza. I was one of your hosts, that mud guy. We'll be probably doing our video next weekend. We'll see, something like that. I don't really
We'll have
know.
to see next weekend.
Or
Maybe
we
we talk about every other weekend, and
we
we
might have
kind
to
of
do
talk about.
right. Well, it depends. Like I think next Warhammer we're hitting a gun range next weekend, and then I gotta really do that Warhammer 3 tier list as well.
Yeah.
So, well, especially if you want to do a recording session at the gun range, that's gonna probably be a while as well. So, probably honestly, if we probably just might not have time to do the podcast, we'll just have to play that one by ear. So maybe a podcast next weekend, maybe not. More than likely,
Stay tuned.
stay tuned. Make sure you hit that notification bell to actually get notified if there isn't our podcast, of course. And yeah. And hey, we didn't get any intruders, I don't think, this time. Hell yeah.